Good morning, everyone. It is the 29th, Memorial Day. And once again, mistakes are made. So I purchased a brandy new mount for my steering column. And when I put this in here, as you see the gap above it, it drops the column down another inch, which just isn't going to be right. So it really needs to be up in there. If you see, that fits perfect. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down so that it fits up in the hole. It has to be this way, which will actually get it right up tight closer. So I'm just going to grind that all the way around, get it up in there tight, and then I will attach this to this, the existing bracket. Twisting around backwards there. Run a couple screws in it, thread and tap it. Thread and tap. Drill and tap it. And then hopefully we can make it all happen. But I want the top of the column to be locked. Now the bottom mount, I'll walk around here. The bottom mount is a stationary mount as well. However, it does not have any facility to lock the column from sliding in and out. So we'll go ahead and do something up at the top to hold it. So mistakes were made. We'll fiddle around, and we're going to do a brisket today in the smoker and just enjoy the day, drink a few adult beverages. And in the meantime, still work on the car because I'm still under a deadline whether it's a holiday or not. I did, however, check this out. How do you like that dash, huh? Is that not pretty cool? I'll get a little closer view here. Remember, this is the beginning of the rocket era. So my headlight switch will work. My emergency brake will work. This is my windshield wiper switch. This is actually the old fan switch, and this turned for defroster. I've got a plan for that. And I think what I'll do is I'll put my fuel pump switch here maybe. But I did up here, which it didn't have before. This is a blue tiny LED I put in. That'll be my high beam indicator. Of course, I mounted my shift light, my tack, my 4-gauge pod. So slowly we're getting all these wires to make sense, and we'll just continue on from there. Now maybe today I'll have it up in the air for fuel lines and brake lines. We'll see. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. I know I will later today. I'll end up fat, dumb, and happy. Have a few beers with my friends. And think about all those that died oh Lord, to let us have the freedoms to do the things that we do. This isn't possible in many other countries. It's silly no matter where you are, but thanks to all our veterans, all of those who died in the name of protecting our way of life. Once again, we have issues. The steering column is too long. I ordered a 30-inch. I really need about a 26. So you take it all apart. You grab your pipe cutter and you make it the right length, because the soonest I can get one is the 5th of June. I do not have time for that because we close on the house on the 5th of June. This thing needs to be driving by the 5th of June, and I have no time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this fine tape measure, the cheapest one I own, grab a little scribe, which is pretty much anything on this Chinese cheap chrome. I'm going to go up 2 inches and just put a mark. I'm going to cut it twice. What I'm going to do is cut this off. If I can get this flange out and put it up in here, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut it twice and then weld that piece back on. All we can do is hope, right? And hope that this works beautifully. You never know about this Chinese stuff, but I can assume that it will cut fairly easy. Most of it is recycled Nissans, tin cans. And I'm sure they aren't really concerned with the quality of the steel. I did find out one interesting thing that rather bothers me, and that is that this is not a collapsible steering column. The good news is steering box is behind the cross member, behind the front axle, behind pretty much everything. You can hear it coming apart. And there she is. Perfect. I believe that's plastic. We'll see if we can't pop it out of there. So what I have to do is I'll have to cut this back. I'll have to make this fit back in here. Obviously, I've belted a little bit, so we'll have to get that back out and see what happens. So, onward and upward. One way or another, you gotta make things work. And like usual, nothing's ever easy. Life is but a dream. Do-wop, do-wop. Okay, so here we go. I have cut to 1 5/16 out of the tube. I have gone ahead and I'm using an old piece of T-post as my angle iron and 2 of these fine magnetic clamps from Harbor Freight to get this straight. I'm going to tack it and then I'm going to weld it all the way around, and fingers crossed I'm going to slide it back in and it's going to be right. Now, a couple other things I can do. This does not have to stick out of their 2 inches. And I'll show you why, because zoom, we'll zoom over here. I got my double D bar here. I know they call it double D. Everybody likes double Ds. This slides in here like this, and it goes way up in there. So, I mean, if you mark it here, I'm way up in there. It can't go into any farther if it's locked into the 2 joints. I do have 2 U-joints for it. And it can't fall out because the U-joints and everything are in the way. So, that being said, I can take this off just about to the very butt end, which will gain me another couple inches, because at the very end of this, I need to put a U-joint. So that's where we are. So I'll cut that off, I'll weld this up, and then I'll get back with you. Take you for a little tour of the steering column. So here she is. It's mocked up. I'm going to put it right about there. I think I've got enough U-joint rotation that it won't bind. I'm hoping. She's pretty close. So I have to make my support for there. Got it pretty much hanging there. I've got to do something with that top support as well. Everything I did didn't work. So we'll come up with a new plan. But there she is. It looks pretty good. It does sit off to the side just a skosh, but there's really nothing I can do. I can shim the whole column over a little bit. I've just got to come up with some kind of a bracket that's going to work. I probably should have just kept the new one that I bought, screwed that thing in and been done. And I may just go ahead and get another one and do that tomorrow or something. We'll see. Got to get that going. It'll be nice to have some steering before I make it run and move, huh?